Welcome back here to Women's Sports Report. I'm Taylor Rooks. Ever since elementary school, we've learned about the 5 senses: touch, taste, smell, hearing, and sight. Each one serving a unique purpose to help us better understand the world around us. But one of those senses was in jeopardy for Northwestern's Taylor Tashima due to a diagnosis that doctors told her may threaten her ability to see, as well as her ability to play volleyball for the Wildcats. It's an inspiring story about her point of view and how almost losing her sense of sight never changed her vision.
From an early age, Taylor Tashima envisioned a path for herself on the volleyball court.
I first introduced her right in the living room. We had a ball, it was a light ball, and we would just roll the ball back and forth. I'd watch her eyes when she was really young, and I'd say, wow, she's tracking the ball.
He really exposed me to volleyball. He would take me to the Northwestern game since, we only live 5 minutes away, and he would try and point out what all the players were doing.
She just looked up to these girls at Northwestern so much. I mean, she would go and she'd bring her volleyball to the match, and she'd get the posters, and she'd wait in line. She just lived it.
Taylor was always around. She's been around us and our program and our girls for so long. Every year she'd just get better and better and better, and that led us to believe that growth and that curve was never going to stop with her. It was a no-brainer. She was one of our own, and we're going to do everything we could to make her a Wildcat.
A stellar high school career earned Tashima a scholarship to Northwestern. She started at setter her freshman year, leading all Big Ten freshmen in double-doubles. The USA Junior National Team took note, offering her the chance to represent her country in February of 2015. As the trials approached, Tashima started experiencing some puzzling symptoms.
One day, I blew my nose and my eyes got all swollen. I was like, what is going on? This is not normal. This should not be happening. But, I was like, this is probably just a fluke thing. I'm just going to leave it be. I told my trainer, but we really didn't think it was anything.
Several months went by, no problems. And then late January, I get the same text message. Haley, I sneezed real hard and, my eyes swelled, and she sent me a picture. It was almost to the point where her eye was swollen shut.
On February 5th, Tashima underwent a CT scan. After examining the results, team athletic trainer Haley Zimmerman immediately recommended that Tashima schedule an appointment at Northwestern Memorial Hospital, where doctors diagnosed an osteoma.
An osteoma is a benign bone growth or tumor, and in Taylor's case, it occurred right around what's called her ethmoid sinus. The larger it grows, the harder it is to remove. If it continues to grow, it will start pushing on her eye muscles, and she will definitely get double vision and sinusitis.
They were very clear. They said this needs to come out as soon as possible. We don't know how long it's been growing. I know it was scary for her, and I didn't sleep, and I'm sure that she had a lot of sleepless nights too. But she was strong, and she was composed, and she was mature about it. And maybe she didn't let herself think about what could happen, but I think she knew. She taught me a lot about strength that week.
They did tell me there was a possibility of losing my eyesight or having permanent double vision, not being able to play volleyball. And, when they told me that, I didn't accept it. It was just not an option for me. If anything that was to happen, I would find a way to keep playing volleyball.
Missing the USA Junior National trials wasn't an option either, as on February 20th, Tashima traveled to Colorado Springs, Colorado, to compete for a spot as surgery loomed.
I pushed back the surgery to be able to make it to that tryout. I hadn't made it the year before, and that was a huge goal for me. And after hearing about the tumor, it meant so much to me just to be there surrounded by all my friends, playing volleyball. Who knows, it might have been the last time I had played.
On February 24th, just 4 days after Tashima returned from the USA Junior National tryouts, she underwent a 5.5-hour surgery to remove the benign tumor.
There was a fair amount of risk here in the sense that we were concerned that the eye muscles would be damaged. We did everything we could to minimize that. So what we did was we made an incision in the conjunctiva and retracted the eye tissue over, protecting the eye muscles, and then went through the nose to essentially take this out through the nostrils.
After the surgery, I had stitches in my eye. I had splints in my nose. I had double vision. Thankfully, 2 weeks after, the double vision faded, but before that, I was dizzy. It was really hard just to be.
For 2 months, Tashima recuperated at home in Wilmette, never losing sight of returning to the court. In mid-May, Tashima returned to the practice court in Evanston, and later that month, on May 29th, just 92 days after her surgery, she learned that she had been named to the USA Junior National Team.
I got an email from Denise Sheldon saying I made the team, and it was honestly the best feeling ever, just opening that email and seeing, they believe in me. They believe I can do this. And it was that much more motivation to get on the court every day, put in those extra hours, and get back to where I was.
This past fall, Tashima led the Wildcats to 14 victories, including their first triumph over then number 3 Penn State in 13 years.
Tashima goes back to Lavin into the top, and this match is over. Unbelievable.
There's no better feeling than seeing your daughter with what she's been through and how she's been so positive about the experience. It's inspiring for me as her father, and hopefully to others around her.
You can't think that for a second that you're not going to come back. Even after having this tumor, I wasn't willing to back down. I have the same goals, I have the same expectations for myself, and I'm willing to do anything to, make those come true.